You know what has been one of the oddest things that happened since I started Vins now? How much not only I have enjoyed Christine Love's works, but how much I've defended Christine Love's works. If you didn't know, this is Sound Off. I am JP the Third, and in this discussion about the role or the growing role of um, current events in gaming, it's interesting to me that in 2011, when I started the site, if you had told me that I would enjoy Christine Love's works, I would have been skeptical. Not because of her lack of talent, but because the subjects she likes to talk about, I don't always enjoy reading. Um, and I understand that there's a place for talks about gender politics, sexuality, all this different stuff. There's a time and place to talk about it, but it goes back to what I was talking about before. I don't like being preached to. I guess I grew up with a sermon every Sunday. I don't need to hear it in my fiction. So when people get preachy, I have a problem. But what I've enjoyed about Christine's recent works, and we'll probably disagree about this, was that they haven't been overtly preachy. The underlying themes were there, but it was tied into the game proper and not just, see, this is why being a misogynist is bad. That kind of thing. And I really liked it in Hate Plus, where it was very, very subtle and used to show society's decline. Where the laws and everything and how they changed and how they prioritized different things meant the negative of that was that certain lifestyles were not feasible, financially feasible anymore. And you can make an argument there about the importance of finance in relationships. But I digress from my point. If you ever got me and Christine Love into a room, I don't think we'd agree on anything. I know we disagree about gaming as a whole. Outside of her games, just, what's good and bad, just from what I've seen in her tweets. More than likely, we disagree on what's good in gaming. I'm pretty sure when it comes to religion, we're on two different sides of the fence. Politics, I'm not real sure how Canadian politics and our politics fall, but we may be on the opposite side of that. Fiction as well. It would be an intelligent conversation, thank God. We wouldn't be talking about each other's mamas, but I don't think we'd agree. And yet, in this tiny subsection, when it's just concerning her work, we do find agreement on that. And I've always been fascinated by this because even I really don't know how that came about. And it just could be the sheer level of talent or hypnosis. I don't know. But interestingly enough, I've recently had to defend her work to other critics and other people. And they've been outspoken. I'm not going to get into names here and call anybody out. But they've been outspoken enough to give everybody an idea of who I've talked to and where those conversations have led. And there are people who just do not find anything redeeming in Christine's work. They think it's too much about her sexuality, or it's too much of a political, or it's just too many words in general and all the characters aren't likable. So it's easy to, I guess, hate on that front. But for me, again, it's the talent that shines through, and whether or not you necessarily agree with what she's talking about, the fact that she can talk about it in such a way makes it work for me. And this was especially true in Hate Plus, where I didn't have the emotional connection that I did to that game that I did with Analog Hate Story. But at the same time, it was so well written and developed so well that I cared about all of the characters and their relationships. So even though I didn't walk away feeling like I just got sucker punched in the soul, it was still that feeling of, you go through these journeys with these people and you really hope for the best for them. Although it being a prequel, you know what's going to happen. And that's the route I think. I mean, if you really just want to change gaming, and I think we all want to see a more diverse cast and approach to gaming. But if you want to do it right, you have to take the story first. You can't just make token characters, which is what a lot of these are. Hey, we got a black character, we got a Native American character, we got a gay character, we got all these different characters, and we're really diverse. That's not true diversity.